Hello, everyone. This is Roger Harrison welcoming you to another episode of the Sports Deep Dive Podcast. I'm joined sometimes, and this is one of those times, by Brian Koperick. Hello, Brian.
Hey, Rogers.
You doing all right?
I'm doing great. Great.
Let's talk a little baseball on this episode of the Sports Deep Dive Podcast.
Sounds good.
We're going to talk about a player who you never saw, Brian.
No.
Because you're not that old.
No.
But he played for your favorite baseball team.
He did.
Today we're going to talk about Ty Cobb.
Exactly.
And for those that hadn't put the pieces together, Brian is a fan of the Detroit Tigers because somebody has to be.
That's right. Hey, we've had our moments in history.
That's right.
And Ty Cobb's one of them.
Right. He was born Tyrus Raymond Cobb, December 18th, 1886.
In your favorite state.
Yep, he was born in Narrows, Georgia, about 90 miles north of Atlanta, and it's near Rome, Georgia.
Which is one of my favorite places on earth.
Really? Rome, Georgia?
Yeah, it's a really cool town. It's grown up some, but they've got a private school there, and my daughter did some soccer camps, and so I spent some weeks there while she was at camps, and they have a great river to kayak on, and it's just beautiful.
It is.
And a neat downtown, too, by the way.
And Rome, Georgia is also home of minor league baseball, the Rome Emperors.
That's right.
And they get their name from their mascots, the Emperor Penguin.
That's right.
Now, let's get back to Ty Cobb.
Yeah. Little side trip there, but let's get back to Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb played 24 seasons in Major League Baseball, primarily with your Detroit Tigers.
That's correct.
He finished his career, though, with the Philadelphia Athletics.
Yep.
When he was 19, just as his professional baseball career was getting started, Ty Cobb's father, that would be William Herschel Cobb, was shot and killed by Ty Cobb's mother, Amanda Cobb, in 1905.
Crazy things happening.
Oh, you think that's crazy? Let me tell you what happened. All right. So William was kind of suspected that Amanda was cheating on him.
Oh.
He tried to catch her in the act by secretly returning home late at night. Okay? So he says, I'm going to go, I'll be out, and thinking gave her an opportunity for somebody, a gentleman caller, to come by.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Right.
So what he did is he climbed onto the roof and attempted to peer into the bedroom window. Amanda was startled by the noise and, believing him to be an intruder, fired 2 shotgun blasts, fatally wounding him. Now,
that'll teach you. That'll teach you.
You gotta love a woman that can handle a shotgun.
That's right. Oh my gosh.
Can your woman handle a shotgun, Brian?
Probably not.
That's good for you, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I keep it locked up anyway, just in case.
Now, of course, she claimed, hey, it's a case of seeking identity. I thought he was a burglar. I didn't know.
Right.
She was arrested and charged with manslaughter, but she was later acquitted.
Right, because he is on the roof, peering in the window.
Yeah.
How would she know?
Right. We're going to take a look at some of his accomplishments, and then we're going to take a look at some more facts after that. You ready?
Sounds good. Batting
average. 366.
Yeah, it's still the
highest in Major League Baseball history.
Yep.
Now
can you believe that?
Now we talked late in season 1 of the Sports Deep Dive podcast. We talked about Tony Gwynn.
That's right.
And who also had a high batting average, but Ty Cobb, he wins 366.
Still holding it.
4,189 hits. Now, this is a little controversy because some sources say 4,191.
Still, a lot of hits.
Still, yes.
Right. I mean, what the gold standard's 3,000, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. He was the first player to reach 4,000 hits.
Yeah.
He had 897 stolen bases.
He was known for that, like for stealing bases. That was a big thing for him.
And that's kind of, I mean, that's wow in those days. But of course, it's also wow these days because most teams do not steal
near
that.
as yeah.
I mean, the St. Louis Cardinal teams in the 80s were the last
big
speedster teams,
right?
And of course Ricky Henderson, but he was just one person. I'm talking.
Yeah.
He was a 12-time champion American League batting title.
Yeah.
American League batting champion 12 times.
That's a lot.
His nickname, the Georgia Peach, reflected both his southern roots and his complex legacy. And do you know what I mean when I say that? He was considered a very aggressive player.
Yeah.
Would you say that?
Yeah, he was a bit rough.
Yeah.
Rough around the edges.
He was inducted in 1936 to the Major League or to the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York.
Well, and wasn't that the first induction?
Yes, it was the inaugural class in 1936.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think he got the most votes of any player that year.
He has the highest vote percentage, 98.2%.
So I'd like to know who the two schleppies were that didn't vote for him.
They probably voted for like some unknown Washington senator.
Exactly.
I got Ty Cobb not getting in. But the third baseman from the 1915 Washington Senators. All right, like I've said before, Cobb was known for his aggressive style of play. He often slid hard into bases, and he often was known to intimidate opponents. Cobb was famous for sharpening his cleats and sliding hard into bases, often injuring fielders of the opposing club.
Yeah, he was a little dirty.
And so, yes, he was very aggressive. Now, I'm going to tell you about this. I don't know if you know this or not, Brian. One of his famous moments in baseball history occurred on May 15th, 1912. So a little before your time.
Way before my time.
Ty Cobb leapt into the stands to physically attack a heckler. That was a game between the Tigers and the New York Highlanders, who are now known as the Yankees.
Oh, well, that's understandable. I'm kidding. You should never physically attack a fan.
Jeez. Sounds like Ty Cobb is rubbing off.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, jeez.
Right.
Golly. Now, the heckler, his name was Claude Luker. He had reportedly been taunting Cobb relentlessly for several games. Luker had suffered a printing press accident and lost most of his fingers. So he was kind of
crippled and bitter.
Yeah.
And just a sour guy.
Now, Cobb, enraged by the insults, which some say included racial slurs or personal attacks, charged into the stands. He climbed 12 rows and began beating and stomping Luker with his cleats.
Wow.
And you know, these like I've said before, these cleats were probably very sharp because he liked to sharpen his cleats. You know,
right, to intimidate players, infielders.
Yes. When someone shouted, "Cobb, that man has no hands," Cobb allegedly replied, "I don't care if he has no feet," and he continued, the assault. So, yeah, not a nice person. Several teammates followed Cobb into the stands and held off fans with bats, so the fans wouldn't get involved. So it could be just mano a mano.
Mano a mano. Stump against the cleats.
The incident led to Cobb's suspension. You think, Brian?
He should have gotten suspended.
think?
And today he would have got put in jail.
Yeah. And he probably would have been kicked out of the game today.
Period. He would have never gotten to play again.
Right.
Just the going up there and hitting them probably wouldn't, but the stomping with the cleats, that would have been the kicker.
Now,
so to speak.
but here's the greatest act of what I call of team unity. You ready? So Cobb got the suspension, and in protest, the Tigers staged baseball's first ever player strike. It's like, we're not going to play
unless you let Cobb play.
Until he comes back, right? That means the team was forced to field a lineup of local amateurs for the next game. So if you had been around then, you might have gotten to play in the major league.
I would have. I would have been playing. No,
for the Detroit Tigers. Third baseman Brian Coparin.
Right.
All right. Now we get to the off-field incidents, which are pretty, and I want to warn you about them before I talk about them. Alleged racism. For decades, Cobb was portrayed as a racist, with stories of him attacking black men and being affiliated with the Ku Klux Klan. However, recent research, especially Charles Lear Henson's biography, Ty Cobb, A Terrible Beauty, debunks many of these claims, showing that several alleged victims were actually white.
He was just an angry dude.
Yep.
But that doesn't really excuse the stuff that he did.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not condoning that.
Right.
Yeah.
And whether he's beating up black people or white people, it's still wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The violence and the aggression, that probably had something to do with his talent in the game as well. It should have been checked a lot more than it was, for sure.
Yeah. Ty Cobb retired in 1928. He pivoted into a surprisingly successful post-baseball life. I'm going to tell you about some of those business ventures. Ty Cobb was a savvy investor, especially in Coca-Cola and General Motors. Now, Coca-Cola was founded in the late 1800s. General Motors was just on the scene in the late 19 teens and the early 1920s. So when he retired in 28, Coca-Cola had been around a while, but General Motors was something fairly new.
Right.
And so he didn't get on the ground floor, but it's pretty close. I'd say first floor, right?
Right.
Or something like that. So just those two alone, Coca-Cola and General Motors, and investing stock. I'd like to know, how much he paid for when he invested, and then how much those shares were worth when he passed away.
Right.
Because I'm sure that it was a pretty penny.
I bet you. Yeah.
I hate to say this, Brian, but it's probably more than what you're making as a YouTube influencer.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in fact, his early stake alone in Coca-Cola just made him a millionaire, a million times over. and you add GM to that, and it's just...
Yeah.
He owned dozens of Coca-Cola bottling plants. He had a seat on the company board, which was a rare feat for a former athlete at that time.
Right, because they weren't considered businessmen.
Right. Most people considered athletes at that time to be dirty ruffians.
Right. Knuckleheads,
Yeah.
not that smart. They're playing sports
stupid
because they
people,
can't do other things.
Right. So, yeah, that's great. 1950. Cobb founded the Ty Cobb Educational Foundation, which still provides scholarships to Georgia students. The state of Georgia.
Yeah.
Not the university.
Right.
He also funded the Ty Cobb healthcare system, including a hospital in his hometown of Royston, Georgia.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So not all bad.
Right. Cobb spent his later years basically in isolation. He had some health issues, including cancer and heart disease. He died on July 17th, 1961 in Atlanta, Georgia at the age of 74. So 74 years, I think that's a pretty good life.
Yeah.
And I think at that time, I think that was the life expectancy, 72, 73, 74,
Right.
something like that.
Right.
So yeah, and with the Educational Foundation and the Ty Cobb healthcare system, I think he was trying to make amends for his previous life. I mean, it's
Yeah.
and I think, I don't know, maybe old age kind of softened him a bit.
I'm sure, and he had several children and things like that. So, as he got older and wasn't living that baseball traveling life and got further along, he probably was just a little, less angry. And
of course, having cancer and a heart disease,
that'll humble you.
Kind of softens you up as well.
Yeah. I found it. I've always found it very interesting because it's a little bit of I guess you call it an enigma that, Ty Cobb had this storied past of the anger and those things, but you also look at things about him that were like him getting 98% of the vote to get into the hall. I mean, people obviously didn't hate him.
Yeah.
His team, he's obviously a good teammate because why would they all choose to sit out on his behalf? You know what I mean? Like, so on the flip side, though, the reason they were sitting out is because he went and beat a guy half to death in the stands. See, you know what I mean? Like,
I know.
It's just kind of like I think there was the good and the bad there for sure, but there was also the good. It wasn't just.
I wasn't there at the time, and I don't know what his teammates were thinking, but I gotta think it's like, hey, he was being heckled. He was being called names.
Not just one game or one time.
Right.
This was over a whole series, right?
And so this, they shouldn't happen.
Right.
Somebody went into the stands to make sure that the other fans didn't gang up on Ty Cobb.
Right.
Their teammate.
Right.
Now, is that wrong? Yes. I mean, it's wrong because I don't know if you remember switching sports, but I believe the Pistons and the Pacers brawl.
Yeah.
That happened in the stands.
Yep.
That was a big to do, and that was frowned upon.
Oh, well, and I said even earlier it shouldn't have happened.
Right.
You have to be the bigger person always, like all of us. But I just found that contrast to be interesting in that if he was just a jerk 100% of the time, I don't know that his team would have went up there to make sure it was a fair fight or if they'd have sat out. And if he was a jerk all the time, the sports writers wouldn't have voted for him to get into the hall. Right?
Yeah.
And so and not at that high of a rate. He maybe still gets in because of his stats and all of that, but you know what I mean? Like, he definitely has some things about his past that are not all roses and rainbows, you know. Yeah. But like, he couldn't have been that terrible of a guy, because we've talked about other people on the podcast that, you know, maybe had these storied parts of them, and they were not well liked by a lot of people.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, like, it's interesting to me about Ty Cobb in particular. Like, you know, that he had such that contrast between some loyalty and seemed like people liked him, and then he also just flew off the handle and just lost his crap sometimes, you know.
Well, I think this was a good podcast.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Good episode. I mentioned before that you are a YouTube influencer. You want to tell more people about your YouTube channel?
Yeah. You guys can find me on Random Things at BK, or Random Things with BK on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And it's a DIY channel, and so where we the name kind of says it all. It's Random Things. So we do everything from metal fabrication to building things out of wood to tool reviews and those type of things. So if you're interested, check me out. That'd be amazing.
And as far as I'm concerned, you can find me on Blue Sky 318 North. Is my handle. And you can join us here next time when we take a look at other sports tidbits, trivia. We take a look at sports personalities throughout the years. But until that time, I just want to say so long, everyone.